Hello, this is Steve, on YouTube as Dichroic Glass Man. By the way, I'm going to start putting this in all my videos. Start going to my Facebook groups. If you look up Dichroic Bevels and Jewels and Dichroic Glass Cabochons, put that in your search bar in Facebook. You'll come up with my groups. Please join and feel free to post pictures of your stuff and what have you. Anyway, this video is about the Morton Board. This is a Morton Board. It's awesome. This is a small board here, and this is the old setup. They now have a new design. I love the old setup. I do not like the new design, so I'm going to say that right off the bat. This is my glass cutter that I use. I only use these, the brass-handled ones. And they have these Toyo. Let's see, it takes a Toyo TC10 head, as you can see here. I always keep it in a can, by the way. Always keep it in a can, and in this can there's a sponge down at the bottom. You can see down there. And I keep oil in there. It is not necessary for people to get specific oil. You could use any kind of oil. You could use old dirty lawnmower oil. Any kind of oil is going to be just fine. Some people use kerosene. Well, I only use the brass ones, as you can see, but this clear one, this acrylic one, is for other people when they show up. And I don't know why this cap is on there. I don't use those either. As long as you keep them in the oil, and you're going to be just fine. And how often do I dip my cutter in the oil on the sponge that's saturated with oil down at the bottom? About every third or fourth cut. And the benefits of the Morton Board are incredible. This whole box of COE 96 Spectrum glass is getting ready to go on eBay or for sale if you want to contact me direct. And this whole box was done with this Morton system, just lickety-split quick. And I want to say that if you invest in one of these Morton boards, it is going to help your life out so incredible. But it helps out in this because you can make dichroic glass well, that's what I'm doing with it. Not everybody's going to make cabochons or fused items out of this anyway, so getting ahead of myself. But here's what I do with them. This is a fused glass pendant, and you can see a little hole in there right up here where you put a string on it. And this is a fused glass pendant, and melted it out. This is COE 90, but the same principle applies to 96. So I love the Morton Board. Let me see if I can do this with one hand. Probably not. I'm going to have to set the camera down, find an angle here. All my videos, by the way, have been shot with all by myself. Let's see if I can do it. Ultimately, you want to have one hand holding your glass in place, and the other hand taking a motion like this and scoring all the way down. So I'm going to try this one-handed. Now let's see if I'll use my elbow. Now listen for the noise too, because it's very important that you know you're getting your glass cutter involved here correctly. You'll hear a distinct noise of cutting the glass, scoring the glass, I should say. Aha, we got her. Okay, and now I'm going to break the glass one hand. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know where my pliers are here. I'm going to try to break the glass. I did. Broke the glass with my left hand. I probably should have showed that live. It's pissed a couple people off that I can break glass. It's really easy. See, watch. Hold one hand here. Whoop, there you go. See? Okay, now the principle behind that here is that I'm going to make a 1 inch by 2 inch because I've pre-measured my blocks right here. Pre-measured them. So here I go. Tink. And I'm left with a 1 inch by 2 inch. I'll do it again. It's kind of hard here. I'm doing this all with holding the camera with the left, pulling my glass out. Tink. See, isn't that cool? And you could cut this to any size you want. You could cut this to 1/2-inch strips, 1-inch strips. As you can see, you got all this space here on the board that you can set your blocks as wide as you need them. You can even cut 45-degree angles by taking this bar over here. However, you're going to need the larger board. But if you set this bar over here, you'll use a different top, and you can even cut 45-degree angles, 30-degree angles, whatever. Here goes. Just that easy. If your glass cutter is sharp and you're using the proper pressure, you could cut glass and snap it just like I did with one hand. So how do you tell if your glass cutter's sharp? Well, first of all, okay, how much pressure are you applying to your glass? I've seen people try to crush their glass and white knuckle it. I mean, they're jiggling around and you could see the blood is leaving their fingers and everything. So another way you could tell if your glass cutter is not sharp is if you look at the glass cut really closely. Let me see if I can even do one. I'll take that piece of glass. I'm really bearing down on it. If you look at the edge of your glass, let's see, it's going to be a little bit difficult, but right along here, okay, we're starting to see it. Right down at the edge of your glass, you could see oyster marks. That means you're not getting a good clean cut. You're crushing the glass. In fact, down here on the left side, you can see how clean it looks. And then you can see the serration right here underneath my thumb. That's because you're pressing too hard, or your glass cutter is dull. So anyway, there's more on that. Now I'll do another video on how to detect your glass cutter, but maybe that'll help. Oops, there's a scrap. So one of the benefits of the Morton board is mass production. Who's going to say it? You're going to make all these alike. My gosh, every one of these is going to be different if you fuse them up. So many people panicking over that word mass production. Geez, I just template myself to make my life easier. There's 850 cut pieces. It's going into auctions for sale, by the way. But if this was my box, 850 with about 40 colors, can you imagine how easy it's going to be for me to just whip out a lifetime's worth of pendants? That's the value I see in doing these videos for other people, is seeing yourself, yeah, every one of these are going to be original, but yet they all start out the same as in size. The individuality is what kind of dichro you used at the moment and how you arranged it. So that the configuration like this is what makes it each and every one unique. But they all start out the same. Come on, man. How many dinners start out, or cookies and bread start out as sugar, flour, and salt? We have a basis where we start from, and then we individualize. So anyway, here's the idea of the Morton board. A must-have for every glass person, and I would suggest every fuser. Thanks for watching. Bye.